2012 or 13 Honda Civic. It's here for a few things. One of them is engine mounts. They're all destroyed, so there's crazy amount of vibration coming in here right now on a cold startup. And just overall while driving, the shifting, it's just the engine mounts are bad. Outer tie rods, and change the transmission fluid. You can probably hear the noise that's transmitting inside of here. It's pretty crazy. Trans fluid draining out here. This trans fluid has about 230,000 miles on it. It's never been changed. Here's the magnet. Go ahead and wipe this off. Alright, so I went ahead and cleaned that off real quick. Just about finished draining here, but I'm gonna let it sit for a few minutes and just kind of try to get out as much as we can. And we do have brand new fluid from the dealer, so we're not using some aftermarket stuff. It's OEM fluid. It's what I suggested. It goes back in the car. Okay, so here's a quick comparison of the old fluid compared to some new fluid. Yeah, that looks straight up like used engine oil. Doesn't even look like trans fluid. I started on the outer tie rod. Nothing special to see here. This one is slightly loose, just a little bit, but yeah, that's the reason why we're changing it. We're doing the other side as well, just because I like to change them out as sets. The engine mounts, I can't even start on them today because I only have this like torque mount, the one you can see right there, and I have the right side engine mount. I still don't have the mount that goes for the transmission side, so I want to do it all at the same time. Just seems like a better idea, so I'm gonna wait till I have the other mount before I tackle any of that. Now the next day, and I have all of the things needed to change the mounts on this Honda Civic. So you can see we've got the transmission side right here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and rip this out. You know, not such a big deal to pull everything out. Battery, airbox, PCM, and it gives you plenty of access. To me, I thought this was the most difficult side, so it's why I tackled it first. Then I'm gonna go do this side, then I'll go underneath the engine and do that last torque mount. Alright, so I'm pretty much done with the upper mounts. As you can see, there goes the transmission side, and there goes the engine side. Now this one was extremely collapsed. Once I put everything in place, I could physically tell that the engine is sitting higher. The only thing I have left to do is the one that's on the bottom, which looks like it's the easiest one of them all. I think it's like some sort of torque mount to prevent the engine from like rotating so much, twisting backwards if you will. Here's that lower mount I was talking about. As you can see, it's completely destroyed in two pieces. This mount just couldn't handle the 143 horsepower that this bad boy puts down. And that's it. As you can see, the new mount is in place. So pretty much done here. Let's go ahead and start up the engine. Alright, so I'm not happy with this. At cold startup, it still has a pretty hard vibration. While driving it, even right now, just you rev it up, there's a whole vibration that goes throughout the whole car. So even though all of the engine mounts were either destroyed or the bushings were compromised in some way, and replacing all of them still did not make a difference. Well, I don't want to say it didn't make a difference. It probably did make a difference, but I'm not happy with this. I expected it to be almost completely gone at this point after replacing all the mounts, but like at idle it's okay. Right here, I really don't feel much. It's when you start revving up, you can even hear the car vibrating. So I'm going to do some more investigation and see what I can find out about this, because if I'm not happy, you know, the customer is not going to be happy. Driving me crazy with this Civic, trying to figure out what's causing these vibrations. And I think it's the new mount that we put in, honestly. It's a aftermarket one. It's not a original Honda part. And right now I loosened the bolt, and I actually have the engine supported from underneath the car, so it's not even resting on this mount right now. And when I turn the car on, cold start, like the vibrations are like 100% gone, completely gone. But if I were to rest the engine back on this mount, the vibrations come back again. So I think what's going on here is you know, obviously Honda has a very over-engineered engine mount, and you know, I'm sure it's made to specific specifications, whereas the aftermarket one is not. So it doesn't quite dampen like it's supposed to, and I'm not surprised. So I think what I'm gonna tell the owner is, if she wants to get this fixed, get an original mount from the dealer, and of course I'll change it out, no charge, and go from there. Alright, so here is the old engine mount. You can see there's like a fluid all around it, and this just happened right now. Basically, I turned it over, right, and right there's like a rubber diaphragm, and it's like super soft, right? And before it wasn't concave, it was convex. So I pushed on it and it felt kind of squishy, and once I pushed on it, then it turned concave like that, and that's when all this fluid sprayed out of these holes right here on the side. Okay, the new mount on the car, I put my hand underneath it to try to feel like that rubber diaphragm, and it feels nothing like this. See, this one felt like it was like filled with some sort of a liquid, and the one on the aftermarket part is just like hard rubber. So that's proof right there to me. These things are not made the same, and that's why it's transferring so many vibrations into the cabin. So it is about a week later and we are back with this Honda. So I went ahead and ordered another engine mount. Now the second one actually said hydraulic in the description, but it also said for a manual transmission, which this one is not, yet it still fit perfectly. It looked identical and it fit. I don't know why it's listed as a manual transmission, but it works. Okay, so that one was listed as hydraulic and this one was not. And clearly the original one is a hydraulic unit because it actually leaked out all the fluid. But here's the thing, I just put that one in, right? Everything's bolted down, just put it in right now. And now the muffler is loud because a few days ago her muffler actually broke, so that's loud now. But I can tell you one thing, massive difference. Nice and smooth inside of here, no rattles, no vibrations, no shaking, nothing. So yeah, it was that was the wrong engine mount. You gotta make sure when you're ordering them. So this is definitely a lesson for me. If a hydraulic mount is available, be sure to check which one your car needs. And I'm glad we were able to get this fixed, so the owner's happy.